Are you an international student or foreigner looking to earn an extra income on the side while you visit Russia or when you stay here in Russia? Today, I got you guys covered with 10 high demand skills that you can turn into side hustles in 2025. Before we get right into this video, please, here's my disclaimer. You can pause and read it. Grab your pens, grab your papers. Let's dive right into the video. I have these skills in order of difficulty, from the easiest to the most difficult, based on language proficiency. What do I mean by language proficiency? This is just basically your knowledge or understanding of the Russian language. The first one we have on the list is modeling. For all of you that are blessed in the looks department, you have the height, you're tall, you're handsome, you're very beautiful. This is a very lucrative side hustle in 2025, or in Russia actually. I know I say these were skills, but some of the things I'm going to mention here are not skills per se. Like being a model is not like a skill, it's something you're born with. Like your beauty is what you are born with. So basically, if you're very beautiful, if you think you're very beautiful, if you think you're very handsome, you have the muscle, you have the height, you have the swag for being a model, when you come to Russia, that's something you can think about. That's something you can go into. For modeling, you can earn up to, or in my city at least, I live in Kursk, you can earn up to 1,500 rubles or more in Kursk, Russia, or in Russia basically. I have a friend, I'm going to post her on the screen right now. We had a shoot the other day and she charged 1,500 rubles per hour just to come and stand and just use her beauty and just pose for the photo shoot. For me, that's basically 1,500 just to sit down, because I mean, you understand something. Okay, not just to sit down, but you get what I mean. So if you're blessed in looks department, you can be looking at a price from like 1,500 rubles. That's if you understand, that's if you actually, yeah. The tip I can give to guys or people that plan to work as models here in Russia is, first of all, you have to build your portfolio. You have to have a portfolio of very good, high quality pictures, not just selfies and stuff like that. You have to have pictures showing your height, showing your body, showing your face, showing everything, showing your details. Also collaborating with local photographers in your city. For example, there are a lot of photographers in your city. You can just go to your Instagram and search photograph in Russian, and then you're going to find some photographers in the city that you can reach out to. You can maybe try to exchange, or maybe you have to actually pay, I don't know, but you can reach out to these guys, get some high quality pictures for yourself, post it on your Instagram, tag brands and stuff like that. Just try to have a portfolio that when you say you're a model and people come to your Instagram profile, to your portfolio, they'll be like, okay, this person is not just playing, this person is not here to play. The second is signing up to modeling agencies. So the thing is that I am not a model, so I can't really say much about this, but it's something you can just check on the internet and just look into on how to sign up for modeling agencies here in Russia or in Europe in general. That's just another tip on how to just get into the modeling game here in Russia. The second on the list, guys, is makeup and nail tech services. Okay, so guys, I'm going to be saying from my personal experience, I'm not a nail tech, I'm not a makeup artist. The thing with these side hustles I'm telling you guys is that, like, my goal for you guys is not to sacrifice your schooling if you're a student. So that's why I came up with these particular side hustles. Of course, there are other jobs, but you have to sacrifice your hours, you have to sacrifice your schooling. A lot of you are students and you don't want to sacrifice your studying hours. So that's why I have to come up with all these ideas that you don't have to really sacrifice school, but you can show up to school, show up to class, and also do your jobs on the side. Being a makeup artist and being a nail tech, you can charge from at least 500 rubles. For Russians, they charge about, in my city at least, they charge about 2,500 rubles for wedding makeup and 2,000 rubles for evening or date night makeups. This is like the standard market price here in Russia. But there's a catch here. As a black person, for example, if you're a black person watching this and you want to do makeup for Russians, I don't really think a lot of them will be open to you to do makeup on them, because you have to be like maybe exceptionally good. But this just gives you an insight to how much you can charge students, for example. So from students, your prices can range from 500 rubles up to, let's say, 1,000 rubles if you're in the student market, because you understand students don't have money, so you have to actually be reasonable with your prices. So yeah, so you can actually be looking at from 500 rubles up to 1,000 rubles or more, depending on how good you are or on your demand in your city, and also on the standard of living in your city, of course. For being a nail tech here in Russia, two things you have to consider. First of all, if you're coming from your country and you're not a nail technician, you have to come and learn that here in Russia. And to have that masterclass in Russia, at least 8,000 rubles to learn to become a nail technician. Why do I know this price? That's because my girlfriend actually signed up for one of these master classes, and she's a nail tech here in Russia, and she's also in first year. And for someone that's in first year, make money on the side without having to sacrifice her classes, without having to sacrifice her studying time. Everything is just according to her schedule, so she doesn't have to show up at 8 a.m. for a nail tech client. She can just set everything during the evening when she has time, or whenever she doesn't have tests. You can actually charge as a nail tech from about 600 rubles up to 2,500 rubles. It depends on how good you are. And also, I'm saying this based on my city, Kursk. So I don't know about Moscow or St. Petersburg or other cities in Russia. Your prices basically should just depend on the standard of what the professionals in your city are charging. You don't need to know Russian that much compared to the other ones I'm going to mention later on in this video. For being a makeup artist and a nail technician, I'm going to give you guys some ways on how you can get started while you come to Russia if you already know how to do this and you don't have a portfolio before. First of all, first, if you're not very good, you have to practice for free. You have to practice with your friends. I mean, this is a no-brainer, right? You have to practice with your friends. Ask them, can I do your makeup for you? Can I do your nails for you? just ask your friends, do free stuff. You need to show people that you are what? You are good. You have to leverage your Instagram account. You have to leverage your student group. If you have anyone in your city, advertise yourself there, like, oh, hey guys, I'm a nail tech in the city. I just, if you want to do your nails, blah, 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 come meet me my address, or DM me to book a session or something like that. Also, you have to invest in high quality products. As a makeup artist, you can't choose to be cheap. As a nail technician, you can't be buying cheap machines, cheap this, cheap that. You have to invest in the high quality products. Of course, sometimes all these things might be expensive initially, but it's something you have to buy once and forget about it. For most of these machines, you buy them once and use them for over 5 years, 6 years. So I actually think that all these things, all the good quality machines are worth the price for what you're going to pay for and what you're going to get in the long run. Hair making for men and haircuts for women. Wow, guys. The skills I'm sharing with you guys is something that I feel like you should be able to do from your house. And the thing with working in Russia is that most of these skills, if you want to work with a Russian in particular, you have to have your own physical shop, your physical location, which involves documentation, all those extra things. So for the most part, a lot of these skills will be geared towards the student markets. Haircutting for men, you can cut the hair for Indians, you can cut the hair for Malaysians, you can cut hair for the black people in your city, in your university. You can charge from at least 600 rubles. This doesn't require any language proficiency. You don't need to know how to speak Russian. You don't need to know how to speak Hindi or Hindu. I don't know what they call it, but you don't need to know how to speak the Indian language, basically. All you need to do is know how to operate your clipper. And for the ladies, if you can braid hair, oh my God, this is a booming market, especially in Russia. If you don't know, a lot of Russians are embracing trying to make their hair, like make the braids and stuff like that. And it's something you can actually come, if you're a master, if you're very good, you can charge these guys a good amount of money. For hair braiding, guys, in fact, you don't even need to look at the Russians. Let's go back to the international markets, the student market. If you're a master of your skill, if you're a very fast barber, if you can do 2 girls in one day in terms of braiding hair, you can charge at least 1,000 rubles for every hair you make. From 1,000 up to 3,000 for your labor, for your service, depending on how fast you are, depending on how good you are. Guys, do you know what it means to just braid hair and they just give you 3,000? Of course, I'm not trying to downplay your skills here by saying it's very easy. It's not easy, but it's something that, like, you don't have to sacrifice school, you don't have to go late to class. On your own time, you just come in the evening, braid one person's hair for 5 hours, 6 hours, you get 3,000 rubles. Just like that, get 2,000 rubles, just like that. Instead of sitting back at home watching Netflix and just chilling. I think it's a very reasonable amount of money for a student here. You're in your first day, you just got here and you're already making 2,000 rubles, 1,000 rubles, 3,000 rubles, just because you're a master of your skill, just because you're the best braider in your city. Guys, don't sleep on this. If you're a hair braider or a hair barber, you can come here. Guys, the fourth on the list is food, catering, or food delivery. Guys, this is another booming industry, booming market in the Russian market, Russian student market, Russian international foreigners market. Because I know that not only students are in Russia, there are also local people that are just here in Russia doing one hustle or the other. If you know how to cook, if you're a master at chefing, I think you can actually become someone's private chef. One time I was posting on my status that, oh my God, I'm so busy nowadays. I wish I can have a chef that can chef my meals for me. Guys, this is a problem that a lot of people have. A lot of people don't have time to cook their food. A lot of guys, for example, don't know how to cook. If you know how to cook as a lady, as a guy, if you're a master chef, if you can prepare different delicacies, this is something that you can come here, monetize your skill. You can get the food packs, the small food packs. Sometimes you can just be like, okay guys, jollof rice will be available on Saturday. You know, you do the whole packaging. I don't know how you guys do it, but you know what I'm saying? Chicken, jollof rice and chicken, fried rice, soup, and this. Just basically leverage the market. And all the skills I'm giving you guys, this is something that you don't need to not to speak Russian. Basically, your skill will do the talking for you. All you have to do is just, first of all, be a very good cook, of course. Put your name out there, put yourself out there, advertise your what's the word, your sales, like, oh guys, I'm selling this today, I'm selling that today, or jollof rice will be available every Saturday. You can place your orders, 2 plates, blah blah blah. You can make a good amount of money for preparing bulk orders, or people for if you want to be like a private chef. You can do the small packs. Okay, hey guys, small packs of jollof rice will be available. This is the price, 200 rubles, 400 rubles, 500 rubles, depending on how good you are, like I said, and the amount of money that people are willing to pay for your service. The fifth one I'm going to give you guys is personal training, or being a personal trainer. This never came to me before, but when I was thinking about it the other day, I actually trained my girlfriend at the gym, and my girlfriend is not the first person I've ever trained before. I used to have other friends, other people that used to reach out to me before, Iwan, can you train me? Can you train me? The thing is that, like, I don't really enjoy training people, so sometimes I used to dodge it. But the thing is that, like, I just realized that if people ask me every time they see my results and they want to get a body like mine, this is something that you can do as someone that comes to Russia. If you're a very good fitness person, like me, for example, I can box. If someone comes to ask me, Iwan, can you teach me how to box? I'm going to charge you. And for me, I don't need to teach you how to become a professional boxer. I just need to do boxing with you to the point where you can lose calories. And for example, I know the basics of boxing, so I should be able to teach you the basics. Of course, I'm not a professional coach, but you don't have to be a professional. You just have to know more than the next person beside you. For example, now, I know more about fitness in terms of exercises and just different exercises for different body parts more than my girlfriend. Although I'm not a professional coach, at least this knowledge I have above my girlfriend helps me to be able to give her the right exercises, to grow her back. You understand what I'm saying? To grow the things that are going on behind, to grow in the right places. So yeah, so if you are this person that has a technical know-how, you don't need to become a certified gym trainer at the gym, wherever you're going to be training your clients. You have to just be that guy at your university that is very fit, and you can just reach out to students, someone that wants to lose weight. You can just be like, okay guys, I can coach you for 300 rubles per hour, 400 rubles per hour, 500 rubles per hour, depending on how much they are ready to pay. Just imagine you're already going to the gym and someone just comes and tell you, can you train me? So I mean, you're working out on your own and you're also training someone else for extra 500 rubles. I think you're basically stealing. That's free money in my opinion. I'm working out and you're paying me to just teach you some of the things I'm doing. Before I go to the 6th skill you have to learn before coming to Russia, this is a perfect segue to give you a word from our sponsors. This video is sponsored by nobody. Sponsored by your boy, Daddy the Professor. So if you've got to this point, please hit the subscribe button. Comment fire emojis in the comment section. Let me know that I'm giving you guys game. If you're enjoying the game I'm giving you guys so far, comment fire emojis and say DTP, fire. So that leads me to the 6 points that we have in this video and the 6th skill that we have or you should learn moving forward to come to Russia. Guys, are you ready for this? Photography. Wow. Guys, this one in particular, I am a photographer, so I know how to speak about this, and I know how to ginger you guys for this one in particular. Photography is a booming market. It's a booming market. Of course, Russians are very competitive in terms of this area. There are tons and tons of good Russian photographers in Russia. So that means when you're coming to Russia, you have to stand out. So if you want to be a photographer in Russia, for example, I'm going to give you guys how much Russian photographers or photographers in general can charge. Depending on how good you are or on how much you spend on your camera equipment, these two things come together to determine your price. You can charge from at least 1,000 rubles per hour up to 10,000 rubles per hour for a portrait session. Guys, a portrait session. Just imagine 10,000 rubles per hour. That's if you're very, very good. If you're well known in your city, 1,000 rubles per hour. If you're trying to get into the market, this is how much you can charge as a photographer living in Russia. Let me tell you why this is very lucrative. For example, this is graduation season where I am in Kursk, and during the graduation season, a lot of students want group photo shoots. They want photo shoots for their yearbooks and stuff like that. Guys, this is the booming market. This is the booming time for photographers, especially in Russia. There's one photographer I know that takes pictures for almost the whole for my university. I am very sure that guy goes home with at least 200,000 rubles every graduation season. That's to tell you how much these guys are making. Let me give some tips on how you can get started as a photographer here in Russia. First of all, you have to have your portfolio. And for someone that wants to work with Russians, let me give you guys a tip from an experienced guru in the industry. You have to have photos showing that you've worked with Russians, not just any type of Russian guys. You have to try to reach out to the influencers in your city. You have to try to have the people that when they post and they tag, oh, A1 photography, they'll be like, oh my god, these pictures are so good. Who was the photographer? You can't just be taking pictures of random girls or random boys that you just know from Russia. We all know what people want to see on Instagram, and you have to give them what they want to see so that they will be able to pay you for your service. If your goal is to potentially work with Russians, you need Russians on your portfolio. Secondly, you have to invest in good camera equipment. These next skills I'm going to be telling you guys are the harder skills because first of all, the barrier of entry is very high because of how much you have to spend on equipment, and secondly, language proficiency. So at extent, you have to understand the Russian language if you want to work with Russians. If you have to invest in good quality lenses, good camera bodies. You can't just come here and come and start playing. You go and buy a $300 camera equipment and be like, oh, I want to come and be... No. If you want to work and be like a baller, you want to work as a baller photographer, you have to spend at least $1,000 on your camera equipment. Yeah, photography. Tutoring English to Russian kids. A lot of Russians want to learn how to speak English. If you're someone that knows how to speak English, you have the basic understanding of English language, you know tenses, structures, word structures, and verbs, you know all those fancy stuff. The things, I don't know those stuff, so I don't really know how to articulate myself right now. But you know all the fancy stuff on how to teach someone a language or teach someone English. You can come here and learn or teach Russian kids how to learn English. There's a catch here. You have to understand at least the basics of Russian, the basics. I don't know how much people charge in Moscow, for example, or here in Kursk. I think you can make, or in Russia in general, you can make from at least 800 rubles per hour teaching English language, or you can work for a company. I don't think you can do it in your first year here in Russia, like when you come as a first year student, because you have to dedicate the evening time, or you have to dedicate more time basically. So that's why it's at the second segment, the harder part. The next skill I'm going to be giving you guys is web development. This is not only web development, any skill that is remote, that involves you sitting down in your house with your computer and just working for people all over the world. Why do I say that being a freelancer or being a web developer is a very lucrative skill here in Russia? Russia has free internet. So when you have free internet, you have free internet basically, and you have free time. But the thing with web development is that, or any type of job you want to do as a freelancer or work online or remote, if you're coming from another country, I'm going to use my country as an example. If you're coming from Nigeria, you need to set up all your payment platforms in Nigeria, because once you come to Russia or once you come to the Russian Federation, a lot of payment platforms no longer work. You can't open a Stripe account in Russia. You can't open a PayPal account in Russia. All your accounts have to be set up already outside of Russia. Your dollar account, your Naira account, every type of account you want to use to receive payments. Just have a lot of accounts ready for you, because once you come to Russia, with the whole sanctions going on right now, it's impossible to use all these services or open accounts for these services here in Russia. So the good thing about being in Russia is that you have free internet, but the bad thing is that you won't be able to receive payment if you do not set up your payment services before you come to Russia. For web developing, you can earn from as little as 10,000 rubles, as little, let's just say that's the minimum, up to 500,000 rubles. I'm using my friend's company as the yardstick here. On his website, he has a package for clients for $5,000 for a project. A lot of you already know that tech is a booming industry. I know how to design websites, but that skill has just gone because I can't receive payments. So what's the point of doing something when I can't receive payments? So that's why I just decided to focus on my area. The 9th skill I'm going to be giving you guys is my favorite of all this entire list. It is videography. Becoming a video master, becoming a reels maker. You make reels for Instagram accounts here in Russia. You can say I'm a successful videographer here in Russia because, guys, I've been able to work with the best of the best of the best people here in my city. And I can tell you for free that this is one of the best skills you can learn while coming to Russia, because having this skill, in particular videography, opens doors for you, puts you in rooms that typically you don't deserve to be in. Okay, not about deserve, but on a normal day, you won't see yourself there, but just because you have a videography skill, that means they invite you for events, they invite you for things. You're friends with people that normally you're not going to be friends with, the high value, the high net worth individuals. But there's a catch, guys, there's a catch. You have to be extremely good. You can't just come here and be playing games. Why this is the 9th on the list is because the amount of money you have to spend on camera equipment, oh my goodness. I can't even imagine how much I've spent so far on camera equipment. But guys, for example, this my laptop alone costs over 200,000 rubles. This is just my computer. We've not talked about my lighting. My light is just here facing me. I have my microphone connected to my body. And like the amount of money I've spent basically on this is what makes it the 9th and one of the most difficult fields to get into in Russia because of the amount of money you have to spend upfront. Once you've mastered and polished your skill, guys, people are willing to pay you as little as 4,000 rubles, starting from 4,000 rubles up to 50,000 rubles, depending on your city, guys. In Moscow, we're talking about 100,000 rubles, 200,000 rubles. If you're like, you know those reels they make on Instagram, that boom, 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 boom. These guys, they earn a lot of money, a lot of money. Videographers are, yeah, you have to be exceptionally good. You have to be very good. You can't just come here and be doing, Spirit lead me where my trust is without borders. Just be making very slow videos, just, you know what I'm saying? You have to be good. You have to be intentional. You have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in your camera equipment to be one of the top guys in the industry or in your market, basically. And the last skill we have here is social media management. Guys, being an SMM manager, I don't know what they call them, but SMMs basically. Any Instagram account for a business, if you DM the account, the person that's replying you is an SMM. The reason why this is the last on the list, it requires a 1,100% understanding of the Russian language. If you want to work as a social media manager here in Russia for Russian companies, you have to understand the Russian language. That is, you have to be speaking Russian the way I am speaking English right now. And that is why it is the hardest on the list. You have to sacrifice the hours to learn the language. You have to understand the terminologies in the social media marketing industry, and you have to be very good in what you do. This is the hardest and one of the easiest to make money from. Once you understand the Russian language, you can literally work from anywhere. All you need to do is to have a phone, but this is 2024. They require from iPhone 14 Pro Max or iPhone 13 Pro Max up until iPhone 15 Pro Max. Sorry, 16 Pro Max. We're already in 16. So you need to have a very good phone where you can make videos with. This job in particular, you can just stay at home, do your social media managing stuff. You're basically just running their social media for them. This is a steal for me. This is a steal. Companies are willing to pay you from 30,000 rubles. I'm using Kursk, for example, Kursk, not Moscow, not St. Petersburg, not the big cities, up until 100,000 rubles or more. You can work as a social media manager for different companies. You don't have to be tied down to only one company. This is insane. If your goal is to come to Russia, but you don't have plans to learn the Russian language, you can just cancel this off your list and consider the other 9 I mentioned. These are all the 10 skills I have for you guys in 2025 or moving forward. These are the 10 skills that once you come to Russia and you're a master of one of them or a master of 2 of them, for example, me, I'm a master of photography and videography. Can you imagine? I'm making money from taking photos and making videos. Guys, once you're a master of at least one of these skills, you should be able to pay your bills to an extent. You're going to have extra cash coming in. If you got to this point, comment what emoji are we going to comment today. Comment gorilla emoji in the comment section. Let me know that you guys got to the end of the video. If you have any video you want me to film for you guys, please let me know in the comment section. I want to put this out there now that I have the time. I am not a travel agent. Please, I'm begging you. I am just a guy living in Russia and making video based on my experiences. So please, like, asking me questions on how you can come to Russia, I genuinely do not know. Unfortunately, I can't help you in that area. If you want to learn about skills like things you can do while you're already in Russia, then I can give you guys a free game. But how to come to Russia, I don't know. I genuinely do not know because, guys, the last time I did this was 6 years ago and I'm sure a lot has changed since then. So I really cannot help any of you that wants me to help you to come to Russia. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, if it was valuable to you, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, turn on your post notification, guys. And yeah, let me know if I helped you guys in this video. Until then, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your boy DTP signing out. Stay safe and have a good one. Bye bye.